Hi, this is Michelle Sam from Sammy Wong's Kitchen. And if you see my previous videos on for example, the chocolate chia seed pudding, what I've been doing recently, and also explains my little hiatus, is because I have hosted my parents, and this has called for a few different recipes. And these recipes that I've developed are recipes that are more age appropriate, and that is recipes that are particularly for people who are underweight and need more protein. As we age, we definitely need a lot more protein in our bodies. And I am trying to pack as much protein into a small volume. So what I'm going to do today is show you how to make yogurt. And the reason I decided to make my own yogurt is because I wanted to have a high ultra protein yogurt. And as I was doing some research on yogurt, I realized that there is anywhere from the really silken, smooth, liquidy yogurt all the way to Greek yogurt. But you can also go even farther than Greek yogurt and end up having something like a labneh, which is yogurt based, but it's even thicker. So I am going to show you how simple and easy it is to make yogurt, especially in an Instapot. I got the inspiration to make this yogurt in an Instapot through a senior citizen class that I attended with my parents. So let's get started with this extra thick Greek yogurt. So it's really protein packed. So for this yogurt, you will need milk, and you can use anywhere from 1% to whole milk. And for my parents, I actually have a container of whole milk here, and I just wanted to show you the consistency of this yogurt. This is whole milk, and it's thick. I mean, I am turning it upside down, and this is what it looks like. So it is pretty thick, so there's a lot of protein packed into a spoonful of this particular yogurt. I actually think it's thicker than Greek yogurt, so that, you know, when you see the nutritionals, it's actually a little higher than that. So what happens when you make the yogurt? Yogurt is basically a combination of milk and some yogurt culture. And the yogurt culture you get is from live yogurt. So when you start doing your yogurt, find a plain yogurt that you like and read the ingredient list and make sure that they have live cultures. And you can use those live cultures for future yogurts. So this is my Greek yogurt that is actually whole milk. But for myself, I'm going to use the 1% organic milk. You could use lactose-free milk, but it's kind of a waste to use lactose-free milk because the fermentation process eliminates quite a bit of the lactose, so that people who are lactose intolerant, they say they can handle yogurt, and that's because of the fermentation process, and it reduces the lactose. It doesn't quite eliminate it, so if you're really sensitive, then go with the lactose-free milk. But otherwise, the fermentation process with regular milk will cut out a lot of the lactose. When you make the yogurt, what you'll see as you strain the yogurt to get it into a thick consistency is this whey. So this is yogurt whey, and it's basically what comes out of the yogurt, which is this liquid. And this liquid is packed with protein. So don't throw it away. It can be used for a lot of things, and even just drunk like that if you can tolerate a little bit of the sourness, but it is so good as a probiotic and for good gut health. And for the straining process, in my beginning research of how to make yogurt, there was a whole bunch of easy ways using filters, blah, blah, blah. And for me, what has worked well is this. And I'm going to show you this, and it's just, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. So it's basically a double boiler with a cotton tea towel. So that is pretty much it for the straining. To make the yogurt, what we're going to do is boil the milk. until it reaches 180 degrees. And the reason we want it to reach the 180 degrees Fahrenheit is because we want to kill off any kind of bacteria that might be there and make it very clean during the fermentation process. But there's also some other thing that happens during this heating process, and that is called denaturalization. And what happens is when we denature this milk, basically we're separating the proteins out from the rest of the milk, and this allows the milk to coagulate with the yogurt culture, and it just makes for a better end product. So we're going to boil the milk to 180 degrees. Then what we're going to do is reduce it to 120 degrees. And in order to reduce it to 120 degrees, I have here a container that has half of it is full of water, and then here is some ice. So I'm going to put it in basically an ice bath. And one tip I would suggest for this ice bath is that make sure you have sufficient water so that the entire area of your milk in the hot pot, when it's submerged in here, the level of the ice water is going to be above the level of the milk so that it cools faster. You'll also need an instant read thermometer so you can check the temperatures, because we don't want it to go past 180 degrees, otherwise you're going to really have scalded milk. You do need a spatula, and the reason for the spatula is that if you're using milk like whole milk, it tends to easily scald. So frequently stir it so the bottom of your milk is not going to be burning, okay? And then you need 3 tablespoons of active cultures. And that's pretty much it. So let's get started. All right, so in our Instapot, on saute, we're going to add our 8 cups of milk. And so for Greek yogurt, because it's so thick, 25 to 50% of your milk will become the yogurt, depending on the thickness of the yogurt. So placed it in the Instapot, and now I'm going to just look at the temperature, and it's almost 100 degrees F. And as I said, we're going to be occasionally stirring this to ensure that the bottom doesn't scald or burn. When we stir it, it helps distribute the heat so that it will actually not have hot spots and will just boil evenly. After about 15 minutes, the temperature is registering 180. What I'm going to do now is take it out of the Instapot and place it directly into my ice bath here and bring the temperature down to 120. If you can see closely, the ice water level is higher than the milk level, and that helps get all the sides and the base of the milk to cool really quickly. And we're bringing it down to 120 degrees because that is where the yogurt culture will be able to survive, and also that'll be the temperature at which the yogurt setting on our Instapot will start and continue the fermentation process for between 6 to 12 hours. The longer it sits and ferments, the thicker it gets, but also the more sour it gets. So this is at 120 after stirring it. So I'm going to take it out of my ice bath and make sure that you wipe the base and the sides of the Instapot insert so that it's not going to be wet on the element. Now what I'm going to do is take 3 tablespoons of my active yogurt culture from my previous yogurt. For a gallon of yogurt that will make about 2 quarts, I would use 3 tablespoons, but for a quart you could use 2. And now what you want to do is mix the yogurt culture into your warmed milk so that it's evenly distributed. You can also whisk it. Make sure that it's all combined properly. I'm going to place it back on my Instapot. Make sure you place it on the yogurt setting. And it says 9 hours here. I am going to do it for 8 hours. Okay, so after 8 hours, this is what our yogurt looks like. And you can see that it's pretty coagulated, but then there's also this liquid here. So what I'm going to do is pour my yogurt into my double boiler pot and allow it to strain. You can see already there's a lot of liquid here, which is the protein whey. So I'm just going to pour it in like that. Just get everything scraped down and into your double boiler. And we're going to allow this to sit for 2 hours. After 2 hours of putting this through a cotton tea towel strainer, this is how much liquid is available. It's about 1 inch worth. And if we had to put this into a measuring jug just to see how much we get, and this amounts to almost 3 cups of yogurt whey. So I'm actually going to add this yogurt whey to the whey that I already have. And then now what I'm going to do is pour it into a pourable container. And this just makes it easier to dispense. So this is the thickness of it. And this is not quite Greek yogurt consistency. After 2 hours, if you strain longer, it will get much thicker. And as it gets thicker, the yogurt will have a tendency of pulling away from the cloth. What I'm going to do is keep this here and allow it to strain longer, and then with the drier yogurt, be able to scrape that off from the towel. Now with this, now that it's pourable, what I need to do is just pour this into my container that I'm going to use. And you can see it's just deliciously silky smooth. And the consistency is not quite as thick as Greek yogurt because I've only let it strain for 2 hours. When you let it strain overnight, you get a really thick consistency. You can see that 8 cups of milk will produce 1 quart of yogurt. And the thicker your yogurt is, the more concentrated the nutrients and protein. So for 4 ounces of Greek yogurt, you actually get more protein and nutrition in that particular 4 ounces because you have eliminated a lot of this whey. But this whey does contain protein. So here you have your strained homemade yogurt. That is absolutely delicious. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the difference between having your fresh yogurt sit in a towel overnight versus just for 2 hours. What we're trying to do is get rid of the whey protein liquid, and this was the consistency that you get when it sits for 2 hours. It is thick, but it's definitely viscous. However, I left the remnants, if you remember, in the pot, and this sat overnight. And if you can see here, there is some liquid that has drained out, but I wanted to just show you the consistency of the yogurt that has been drained overnight. The amount of time that your yogurt is draining or being sieved through the towel will really have an effect on the consistency of your yogurt. And this is quite usable, and if we had salt added to it, that would be the labneh. And what I do with this towel is I reuse it. I just put it in the laundry, and this is actually my filtering towel that I use to filter a lot of things. All right, I hope this is helpful. Happy cooking and bon appetit! More recipes can be found on sammywongskitchen.com or social media. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks!